You are watching Gouche Live featuring Paul Rosen. It's Talking with Taylor. There he is. Brought to you by the good people at the Hockey News, Game On Magazine, Ice Hockey Classic, Sports Illustrated, Christian Hockey Sticks,
Paramount
Scott Taylor
Sports.
Enterprise, and Paul.
Paramount Ice, Paramount Sports Management, the New Leg Foundation. What else?
I think there's got to be a gambling thing, a horse race or something. That's okay.
There's got to be the new online store, the Kerry Goulet new online store for Stop Concussions.
Well, it's not the Kerry Goulet.
Well,
I wish
whatever.
it was.
But it's the Stop Concussions online store.
It is. Thank you.
It's
Yeah,
all
it's
for
a charity.
Great charities.
We've started
Everybody
Black.
should go there and buy their stuff. It's Christmas.
Thank you.
We got
Buy
some
your
really,
stuff.
really, really cool stuff too, Scott.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really cool stuff.
But Scott, we've got the Black Friday sale up there. We didn't do so good. We didn't do so good. So we now are going to call it Black December month.
But wait till Game On gets going.
I know. I'm just joking.
We'll probably be online tomorrow.
Okay.
And then we go to press on Monday.
You got it. Now listen, before we get into it's Norm Beaudin's 79th birthday, I had Anders Hedberg, Ulf Nielsen, and Peter Sullivan on. And Bobby Hull was trying to get on, but obviously technology, you know how it works. But listen to this. The 76 AVCO Cup winning team. Anders Hedberg. Let's just make sure I got it right here because I don't want to misquote. Yeah. No, that's 76 team. 76-77, the year after. Ulf Nielsen was second in scoring with 124 points. Just behind Anders Hedberg with 68 games, 70 goals, 61 assists for 131 points. And third on the charts was
Bobby Hull.
not Bobby Hull. No, Peter Sullivan, 78 games, 31 goals, 52 points. Bobby Hull was down. I think he must have missed some games because he was over point game.
What team are you talking about? 75-76?
76-77.
76-77. Okay. So this is because 75-76, he was the leading scorer. Yeah, he had
Next
123 points.
Scott, next week we're going to stump Scott. I'm going to come up. I found it on the internet. It said all the trivia questions of the WHA Winnipeg Jets. So I'm going to try and stump you next week on that. All right?
Okay. Yep. Sounds good.
All right, good. Okay.
But anyway,
so
happy birthday, the original Jet. The original Jet,
Yes.
the first man signed by Ben Hatskin and Billy Robinson, the original Winnipeg Jet, Norm Beaudin, 79 today. Played on 14 different pro teams in about 7 or 8 leagues. Finished his career in Switzerland and had his best years of his career with the Jets, 4 seasons, and he was terrific every year. Had 38 goals in his first year with the Jets, 72-73.
You know
He was an outstanding original Jet.
Do you know what I love most about Norm Beaudin? He's a super man.
Yeah, he is. Outstanding human
Very,
being.
very nice man. Hey, listen, I want to do a shout out to our buddy here, Stephen Rosen, came and watched. Scott, you would not believe it. Paul and I were on the ice again once a week. We got to step it up a little bit because I looked great for the first 3 minutes. And then the 57, I just hung on for dear life. It's going to be like that fight tonight. Those old bastards holding on to each other. It won't be a fight. It'll be a
Are you
cuddle
watching
fest.
that tonight? Are you going to even watch
I can't afford it. Listen, I can't afford it. Listen, I know you will be. Listen, so text me who wins. So realistically, we had a great day. And Stephen Rosen, who has a man crush on you, came and watched the game. I only had a few minutes with him. Feel real bad, Stephen. I should have taken some time. Next week when you come, there's going to be coffee and donuts waiting for you.
Yeah, it was
Hi,
fun.
Steve.
It was fun yesterday. I felt pretty good. Although Gouche, Scotty put one wicked move on one of the guys because we had 5 guys out there, and he went bar down backhand, which for a goalie, a backhand's the hardest shot to figure out. And when you're in the sled, it's even harder. And he put it in under the bar. It was impressive. It was a bar down backhand.
Hey, I didn't even have to tell you I'm good. Listen, and Rosie, I got it. We're paying compliments right now. We got to get into the show. But Rosie, I'll tell you what, Scotty, I don't think he could beat his glove hand. I bet you out of 20 shots I took yesterday, that's the only one I got, and it was a backhand.
I'm impressed, first of all, with the backhand. I'm impressed, second of all, you were able to bar down.
Yeah.
And
No, bar down.
Third of all, I'm impressed that you last 3 minutes.
Hey, my wife said that once. Listen, let's get into the show. All right.
No, that's not true.
No, about the walk around the block. Of course,
Oh, yeah,
you're
I was
taking
gonna
it the
say.
wrong way. Look at behind me. I dressed up for you guys. I wore what's actually my wedding. I actually got married.
like
Paul's
it.
got one too. Yeah,
Okay.
it's I got the red bow tie. The reason is because I came from doing the show earlier and raced here, and I looked on and I got a big, huge coffee stain on my shirt. So I didn't think that would look good. So I looked through
So
all my
having Olfen
jerseys.
Anders on the show really got you excited, in other words. What did you do? We lost you.
He moved
Sorry,
the camera.
I'm going to show you. Okay, I just brought another bag of jerseys. Paul's stuff. So I had to grab a jersey, and this was the one I had the chance. And I found, because I was looking for a Winnipeg Jets in honor of obviously the WHA. It's amazing. I'm such a big Winnipeg Jets fan. I couldn't find the shirt my mother was given from Buffy. I won't tell you why. And look at what I found. I found a Dave Ellett.
It looks like an all-star jersey, but you tell me it's something different.
Battle of the Bulge.
Or the Legends. That black touch
No,
is really.
I was talking about me. Battle of the Bulge. It was actually the Battle of the Legends. Sorry about that. I played in the tournament. Okay, here we go. Scott, Paul.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you this question. Paul, I'm going to let you go first because we know that Scott's going to be about an hour on this answer.
Okay.
The World Hockey Championships. We've had a chance to talk to Stephen Ellis. You've got your own. I listened to I think the guy's named Salmon last night at 3 o'clock in the morning on Tim and Sid. He thinks everything's fine. Your thoughts, quickly.
So the World Juniors, the World Juniors. Scott Salmon's an incredible guy. Spent some time with him when I played. I think they're going to do everything, guys, that they can humanly possible to put this tournament on. I just think if one more player comes up with COVID, it's a done deal. But I'm hoping that that they play it, because without the Spangler Cup, Christmas won't be the same.
Nope.
World Junior. It didn't look good for a while, but I think they'll play the World Junior because I still believe that the government of Alberta doesn't care about COVID, is doing nothing to make COVID any better, is doing nothing to shut it down, and that if they believe that the bubble worked for the NHL, it will work for the World Junior, and they will play the World Junior Championship in Edmonton.
Scott, let me butt in. Let me butt in on that one, because you're right. I don't think the Albertan government cares, but there still has to be some national organizations here getting involved, because we do have teams flying in from other parts of the world, and there's not a lot of direct flights to Edmonton. So that means they're going to have to drop off somewhere else, and they're not coming charters. I'm going to ask Shoppy tomorrow what's going on with the German team, because I've heard they've been asked to come a few days earlier for all of this craziness. So my question to you is, what about the image of this is also going to send? You know, we had a guy here defy all the rules. He's locked up in jail right now, trying to just stay alive in a business. Paul, you'll agree, he sent a message. It was a very good, solid message, but then he went above and beyond the next 2 days and actually broke the law. And so he's not above the law. He's going to get the book thrown at him. And then all of a sudden we're allowing these teams to fly in from all over the world. I just don't know. I think it's going to get a little more difficult for this tournament. And I want the tournament. You know that, guys. I love the tournament. But I think it's going to be a little bit more challenging.
My gut feeling is that they're probably going to fly to somewhere in the United States and then take the direct flight out of, say, Minneapolis or Denver that goes directly to Edmonton, and they'll skirt it by going that way. Yes, I suspect they'll be there early, but I have no faith in Alberta shutting it down. Canada might step up and shut it down, but Alberta won't. And so if they're going to accept the teams a couple of weeks early, coming from someplace other than Toronto, then my guess is this tournament will go on at some level. Now, we still don't know what teams are going to come yet, do we? I mean, we're hoping that Sweden and Russia and Finland and Germany and
Czech.
Czechs, we're hoping they all come, Slovakia, United States, but we don't know that for a fact yet. So
breaking Breaking
We'll have to
news,
see who gets
breaking news, breaking news. Sorry, Paul.
Go ahead.
Shoppy's telling us Moritz Seiden can't play for Germany at the World Juniors because Detroit said he has to stay in Sweden.
And that may happen to some more stars. There are a
Yeah.
lot of the stars that are over there and safe. They're going to leave over there and safe. They're not going to let them come. Guys that have NHL contracts or belong to NHL teams.
Cider, sorry, his name's Cider. He said,
And guys, teams can do the same thing with a guy like the first overall pick.
Lafreniere.
Yeah, Alexis Lafreniere. The Rangers could say, because from what I hear, he wants to play. The Rangers could say, no, you're not playing.
So, Paul, you also heard, I don't know if you heard this, Scott, if somebody tests positive up until December the 1st or something like that, or
28th.
November 30th, 28th of November.
28th of November, which is tomorrow, I'm pretty sure. 28th tomorrow?
Oh, today.
Or
Today's the 28th.
As of today. So if anybody on Canada tests positive after today, they cannot play in the tournament. That's what Scott Salmon said yesterday.
Scott, I've asked Paul. Paul's been to World Hockey Championships. He understands the scrutiny and all the things that need to get done and, pee in the bottle and all that sort of stuff. Your thoughts on the situation with how we're even in this position? Because they said, listen, we're going to get them in the bubble. We're going to have everybody protected. Red Deer, obviously something fell apart. Do you have any idea? Have you heard anything on the streets why we're even dealing with this? Because I thought they were shut down and nobody would be able to even contract this horrific disease, illness.
No, it's out of control. It's out of control everywhere. We completely lost it.
No, but Scott, we were, Paul, correct me if I'm wrong. We were told that the Hockey Canada was going to get these guys into Red Deer. They were going to lock it up tight. Nobody's coming in. Nobody's going out. And that's the way it's going to be. And yet we still have a case a couple of weeks or a couple of weeks after they had already initially got there.
Yeah. We don't know what happened with these two guys, how they did it, but something happened. It's like, the Baltimore Ravens, their strength and conditioning coach wasn't supposed to do what he did, but he did it. The team pays the price.
All right. So percentages, Scott, on the World Juniors.
Oh, I'm still at least 80. I'm still at least 80%. Until somebody in this province of Alberta says that they're going to shut it down, I'm at 80.
Because it doesn't help the economy. It's not like it's coming there and they're going to make a ton of money.
No.
Realistically, maybe a couple hotels.
It shouldn't happen. They shouldn't even be thinking about it.
Yeah.
Paul, your percentage?
Yeah. I'm going to say right now, I'm going to be Switzerland here. I'm going to say 50-50.
Okay, I was going to be Switzerland, so I'm going to go to Germany and say 60-40. Scott, before we get into the NHL, because a lot of people want to know what's going on there, and I know you've got an ear to the ground. The situation, I just forgot my thought. No, I got it back. It just, beep, beep. I got a new producer in my ear. It's my left brain talking to my right brain. NFL, do they finish? Do they actually host the Super Bowl?
Boy, that's a really tough question because they've shut everything down now until Wednesday. The only teams that can use their facilities are the teams that are playing Monday night and now Tuesday night because Baltimore is going to play Pittsburgh on Tuesday, apparently. Although Lamar Jackson is not going to play for Baltimore. That was announced today that he will not play.
What a juggling act.
I just think it's insane. I don't understand why they're bothering to do it. And I see my Detroit Lions fired their coach and GM today. So
go figure.
Go figure. So, I mean, that was obvious. But the reality of all this is that how I don't know how they make it work. They're going to keep trying. They're going to keep trying to play. But
okay, the $1 billion percentage guy, Paul.
I'm going to say, like I said at the very beginning, that they would play. I'm going to say they will find a way to have a Super Bowl because Roger Goodell and the owners don't give a damn about the players.
But so if there's no players, is Roger Goodell playing?
He'll figure out a way. He doesn't care. This guy's a clown.
Scott, your thoughts on that one?
Well, he works for the owners. I'm not a big Goodell fan. I wouldn't go so far as to call him a clown because he's got a job. He has to work for the owners, and the owners tell him what he's going to do. Now, ask me about owners. That's a whole different deal. I see now where Jeffrey Lurie doesn't even go to the Eagles games anymore. He can't stand it. Uh, the owner in Detroit finally fired a coach. She fired the last coach, Jim Caldwell, after he went 7-9, and they let this guy go 13-29-1 before they fired him. So really, the owners don't have much of a handle even on their own money.
That division, I know you follow the Lions, and Gouche and I follow the Vikings, but I don't get that division. The team that could come out of that division going into the playoffs might not even be 500, Scotty.
Well, they're not going to be 500 in the East. There will not be a 500 team come out of the East. Out of our division, I think Green Bay will eventually come out of the division, and they'll be the best team. But the Minnesota Vikings now aren't going to have Adam Thielen this week. He's on the COVID list. He's not going to play. I mean, it's just silly to me that these star players aren't playing. Is it really NFL football if your best players are sick? I understand injuries. I understand injuries that happen in games. I get that.
Yeah.
I understand that you play games and it's a hard game and you get injured and sometimes players don't play. But this is a thing that has nothing to do with football. Yeah. And yet players aren't playing because they can't keep the bug out of these camps.
Listen,
and now
Scott,
they've decided they're going to shut down Monday and Tuesday to hopefully keep it away. I don't think that's long enough.
Yeah. I watch The Voice on Monday night anyways. I don't have to watch the Monday Night Football. Hey, what's really crazy is our Minnesota Vikings lost to Dallas, so they don't deserve to be in it anyways. I'm wearing a bag on my head the next game they play. Listen, okay, we're going to move to the NHL and wrap it up. But here, Vanderbilt kicker Sarah Fuller makes history as first woman to play in a Power 5 college football game. What are your thoughts on that? I think
it's wonderful. I think it's great. I think it's great that she got in. She squib kicked, and it was a perfect squib kick. I'm glad this happened.
What's a squib kick? She's
a kicker, so you don't kick it to the end of the end zone. You just kind of pooch it along the ground, so it goes to an up back, a linebacker who probably isn't going to run with it. So she kicked it to a guy who just jumped on the ball and fell on it. There was no return, and she did it perfectly.
That's one kick.
I'm glad she got in. I'm glad she played. But why did it happen? She's on an 0-7 team, an 0-7 team, now 0-8, that has lost a pile of players to COVID.
Yeah, craziness. All right, listen, obviously, what has the NHL learned from the NFL scenario? Obviously, we're talking a Canadian division. We're talking different divisions around United States. I don't know if you saw it, guys. Did you see when the CDC said, guys, don't travel? How many people traveled?
Millions. Millions.
I don't know what don't travel means, but it means don't get on a plane.
Right. They're going to try to play, but I don't know how they do it, and especially in Canada, because as you mentioned, there's a fella in jail who tried to keep his barbecue business going.
Yeah.
How are the Toronto Maple Leafs going to play, even if there's a Canadian division? How are you going to fly across this country? How are you going to go from Quebec to Ontario to Manitoba to Alberta, where the disease is out of control? The virus is not being controlled.
No, 1,900 today here in Toronto, I think it was, or in Ontario, 1,400 I heard so far in Quebec. It's not in control. You're absolutely right.
How do you say, oh, well, in January, we're just going to fly all over the country? It's not a problem.
Paul, they're predicting 10,000 infections, COVID positive tests by the middle of December.
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem that people just don't understand, and I don't think it'll ever happen, is everybody in the entire world has to just shut it down like Australia.
Thank you, Paul.
For at least a month, the entire world, nothing. But we won't.
The only way you get the economy fixed is if you get rid of this virus. And the only way you get the virus fixed is if you shut it down.
Yeah. We won't do it, though.
We won't. We will not do it. Okay. And we might fly across the country to try to play.
Okay, here we go. I need some percentages. NHL start January 1st. Paul.
0.
Scott.
10, because I always think there's a billionaire owner who's going to make something happen.
Hey, Paul was NFL 1 billion chance, and he was right. 1st of February.
50-50.
10.
Whoa.
You know what, Scott? I'm with you, kid. I don't think it's going to happen. Listen, before we let you go, look at this. We're announcing December the 19th. We're getting ready. Kerry Gouche versus Dennis Marouk. I haven't confirmed it yet. Against Paul Rosen. We're going to do a shootout. So it's going to be breakaways, and we only can score in the top shelf glove hand against Paul Rosen. And we're going to then do the NHL skill competition. We're going to do accurate shot. We're actually using the NHL system. My good buddy Peter Delisle supplies to the NHL, and we're doing hardest shot. I'm taking myself out of hardest shot because I couldn't even break balsa wood with my
Too
shot.
bad you couldn't have convinced Ulf and Anders to join you.
Oh my God.
That would have been so great.
You got to come to Toronto.
So here's what we're doing. Everybody's got to. So we're going to try and do it virtually from other places and get these guys, if they're on the ice somewhere, they can grab a goalie and just do a shootout. So 3 shootouts. So that's number. Yeah.
Can I tell Scotty about the thing you did to your buddy yesterday? So one of Gouche's buddies comes on the ice. He's never been on the ice before with me. He doesn't know what I can do or what I can't do. And his first shot, he rips one, hits me right in the forehead, to the corner. I don't care. I'm fine. Gouche goes nuts on this guy. Like, what are you doing?
No, not yet, Paul.
What happened?
Then he comes down on you and he puts it along the ice.
Oh, right. Then he put it along the ice, right? And deked me, and I'm like, guys, don't deke because it's not like it's stupid. I can't move the way like. And then Gouche went nuts on the guy. Like I never did any. At the end of the game, he comes up to me when we're like totally dressed and ready to leave. He goes, "I'm so sorry, man. I feel like an idiot. I can't believe it. Like Gouche is so upset with me." And I'm going, no. He's just joking with you. It's
Scott,
okay.
I had the guy close to tears. It was like, oh, you're shooting on a guy. He's only got one leg. Honestly, how could you do that? Here we are. Look at us. We look like a bunch of baboons. It's so crazy. All right, just before we let you go, Game On Magazine. Do not forget, check it out. Tell us a little bit about that. Look at this great ad you did up for us.
There's a spectacular story on Kerry Gouche and his career as a hockey star coming out of Windsor Park in Winnipeg, Manitoba. That story's right at the front, and then right at the back, you'll find out all about the concussions, Stop Concussions online store, and all of the good things that's doing. And it's in the next edition, which will probably be online tomorrow or Monday. It will go to press on Monday, probably be ready to go on Friday. 116 pages, the best in hockey, including the life story of Kerry Gouche from Windsor Park in Winnipeg.
Looking forward to reading that.
Oh, and a great one on Reggie Leach, too. Great story on Reggie Leach.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, listen, tomorrow we're talking about Fred Sakamoose. We've got Kevin Shea. We're going to talk about his incredible career. And then we're going to talk about, with Kevin Shea from the Hockey Hall of Fame, we're going to talk a little bit about Indigenous players. And Jamie and Reggie will be on that list. Hey, Scott, always a pleasure having you out. We love you,
Good stuff. We'll see you next week.
Look
Bye,
forward
guys.
to watching Game
I'm not going
Game
anywhere. Bye.
Take care, Scott. Bye.
Okay, 10%, and you went to 50%.
In February.
Why are you feeling so optimistic?
I think they're going to try everything they can in February. I think it's no chance before February. I want to at least feel some, like, so people don't start screaming at me. But I think 50-50. If I had to be really honest, I don't think we're going to have hockey. And I think basketball is just trying to fool themselves. They're going to start on December 25th, but they're not going to go far.
I love it when my wife says this one. Let me be honest with you. Well, no, lie to us. Why do you even use that line? Just lie, right? Don't lie, for God's sakes. Hey, and you know what? I'm going to stick with Scotty because he's a betting man, right? Yeah. So I would have went, if he would have said 60-40, I would have went 60-40. Hey, listen, let's talk a little bit about tomorrow. Obviously, Indigenous is a big topic in your family right now with Ariana doing an incredible fundraiser. Tell us a little bit about that as we talk about some of the greatest Indigenous players to play in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, well, she's doing a project through school. She's got an incredible heart, and it's to help Indigenous girls get their books and everything they need for school. And right now, she's raised over $500. I think it's just an incredible thing that we help we help people that can't that unfortunately go through situations that are no fault of their own. So I love it. Can't wait to talk to Kevin about different. There's some great players, Jordan Tutu, Chris Simon. There's some incredible players that played the game that are Indigenous, and hopefully Theo Fleury, and hopefully it's opening up the doors for more players and more Indigenous people in anything they want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Paul, we'll see you tomorrow with Kevin Shea, 4:00 Eastern Standard Time. Look forward to it.
Good night, everyone.
Night, buddy.
Let's play some hockey.
I wanted to post this. I just saw it from Shopee. Send the NHL players to Krefeld. Glenn Hanlon and 5 players left after trouble with the manager.
Wow. Glenn Hanlon was a good goalie.
Absolutely. Good coach, too. He coached, I think, in Belarus, if I'm not mistaken. We'll find that out. All right, Paul. Sorry about that. Catch you, kid.
Night.